This lady right here, I'm going to give you my microphone because by the time they get to you.
Thank you, Senator Biden. I am a mother of 6 children, so I've experienced that crying on the chest and then the conversation right after birth 6 times. And I have one last child who needs to go to college. And we just sent one off to Chicago to start up, and we're sinking $20,000 in debt for the 1 year. How am I going to make sure the last son in my house, he gets that opportunity? Because we know education is the only way to move forward in this country.
I don't believe you have 6 kids. I don't believe you have 6 kids. Hey, isn't that the story of every family wants a kid to go to school? I make a good salary, although I am listed as the 2nd poorest man in this Congress. I'm not proud of it. I'm not proud of it. But that's what happens. You get elected when you're 29 years old. When that last listing came out, they listed my net worth is between $70,000 and $150,000, and Rush Limbaugh said, "How can this guy manage our economy? He doesn't have any money." Well, I thought the deal was when you went to work for the government, you weren't supposed to make money. I thought that was kind of the deal. I got a really great house. I'm what you call house poor. They tell me if I sold my house, I'd have $700,000. But if I sold my house, then guess what? I'd have no place to live. But at any rate, but here's the deal. I have, like you, I had 4 children. I lost one. I have 3 children who went through college and graduate school. They worked their way through. My 2 sons and my number 2 son, and I'm so proud of him, his name is Hunter Biden. My number 2 son, he went to school, got out of school, graduated from a great university, ended up deciding, I remember he walking into me and saying, instead of going to graduate school, Dad, he said, "I think it's time to give back." I thought he meant tuition. And he said, "Dad, I'm joining the Jesuit Volunteer Corps." So we went off and ran an emergency shelter in Portland, Oregon, making $85 a month. You know, I taught him all the wrong things. I should have had one good Republican to make some real money, you know what I mean? But all kidding aside, my boys work 30, 40 hours a week. My boys also, my number 1 son did that, plus he played football, lightweight football at the University of Pennsylvania, went off to law school. Guess what? Every single penny I had, we borrowed and I put in. After a total of 7 years, the one son graduated over $100,000 in debt, and the other son graduated $90-some thousand in debt. My daughter went to Tulane University. She's in graduate school at the University of Pennsylvania. She's a social worker again. Well, she's paying more in tuition and pen than she makes a year. But all kidding aside, they're left with an incredible burden. The average kid graduating from college these days is graduating the debt that was more than the mortgage of the first house I ever purchased. And so, folks, look, what do we do about it? What do we do about it? Well, not everybody's in the position I was in to be able to sell your house and downsize to a smaller house to be able to pay for it. And I have a beautiful home, by the way. I don't own a single stock, bond, don't have a savings account, but I put everything in my home, my mom and my kids. And I'm very proud of the home. But here's the point I'm making. Not a lot of people have that option, especially now, when I was saying earlier. When now your mortgage is higher than the value of your house, where are you going to go to get that help? So here's what we're going to do. Here's what we're going to do, and we will do it. Every single solitary person in America who is going to college, either on their own or through their parents, if you have 2 kids or 3 kids, you will get $4,000 tax credit. That's off your bottom line for every single child you have in college, period. Bang. Or in school after high school. The second thing we're going to do is, literally, it's like my son, Hunter Biden, who did the JVC. There's a whole lot of kids out there, like my other son, who's in the United States National Guard and doing his duty as Attorney General of the United States of the state of Delaware. These are kids I'm proud of. But guess what? If you join the military, if you decide to do domestic volunteer corps, if you decide to join the Peace Corps, if you decide to go into the inner city and teach, if you decide to go to rural communities that are lacking teachers or lacking help, then we will reward you by paying for your college education. That's what we will do. Because, ladies and gentlemen, any country that out-teaches us, any country that out-educates us, will out-compete us. And so it's a simple proposition. Is there anybody with a microphone back here? How about someone in the back here so we can, okay. Well, I don't see any, but I'll give the mic to you.
Senator Biden, I'd like to know what you are planning to do to help those of us who are in the age of elegance, 60 and over, to be able to make some money on our money invested, for instance, in CDs, presently at 4.1 APY.
Health care, please.
Well, one of the hardest things for me to come to grips with is I'm older than you guys. You know, I want to make it clear to you. They always talk about my seniority. Senator, there's only 4 folks senior to me in the United States Senate. And I used to say, and I've been saying all through this campaign, but there are 44 still older than me. Guess what? My staff came to me yesterday and said, Senator, that was in the last Congress. They said there's only 30, is it 39? 39 older than you now. But I want you to remember, there are 39 older than me, okay? That's a very important thing for you to remember, okay? Now here's the deal, look. I'll do this really briefly. There's a whole lot of things. First of all, if you're a senior citizen and your income is less than $50,000 a year,
listen up.
You will pay no federal taxes. Zero. None. You will not even have to file a tax form. You will not even have to file a tax form. Why are we doing that? Not only is it the right thing to do, people earned it, but we want to allow people like my mother to be able to stay in her home. My mom's 91, she lives with me. She was so independent she would not move in with me until, I guess it's 4 years ago now. She wanted to stay in her own home. Well, folks, it's right, but it's also a good thing for us. It's cheaper for everyone. Number 2, if in fact you are a senior citizen, we're going to do one very important thing with regard to Social Security. We are not going to privatize it. We are not going to privatize it.